In the headlines to the CBC NewsNight, the Attorney General reports more progress in the Joes River access dispute. Prime Minister Motley to receive another international award. And in sports, Barbados pick up 10 medals in the last 24 hours at both Carifta games.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening on this Easter Monday Newsnight. I'm Wendy Burke. Leading the news, progress is being made in the land access issue at Joes River St. Joseph, first raised by residents 2 months ago after construction by a developer sparked concerns. That's the word from St. Joseph MP and Attorney General Dale Marshall, who tells CBC News that the issue is very close to settlement. He was speaking on the sidelines of the annual Paris Hill St. Joseph Big Kite event.
We've had a number of meetings with the developer. I think the next step now is they've put forward a proposal. The community has to buy into it, but I think that there's an element of give and take on both sides. We value development, but we also have to value our heritage rights. And sometimes there's a challenge because the one seems often to be in conflict with the other. And I think that by reaching an amicable settlement with Joes River, with the Joes River developer, it'll demonstrate that, progress and history don't have to be in conflict.
As a result, he says he's optimistic agreement will be reached.
I am to meet very shortly with the attorney now and the persons who were brave enough to stand up and say I'm being counted and I'm willing to put down my name as a claimant in this case and try to fine-tune the details of the settlement. But I think it's largely, we're almost there.
We'll have a story on the Big Kite event later in Newsnight. Prime Minister Motley is going to be one of 3 eminent figures in the Caribbean selected to speak at the Institute of the Black World 21st Century Conference 5 in the United States later this month. The other 2 being former Jamaica Prime Minister P.J. Patterson, as well as Prime Minister of Grenada Dickon Mitchell. Don Rojas, the Vincentian-born Director of Communications and International Relations for the New York-based Black Advocacy Group, says the 3 eminent figures will be featured at the conference in Baltimore, Maryland from April 19th until 23rd. Mr. Rojas says Ms. Motley has emerged as a major figure in the Caribbean, advocating for stronger ties with the African Union and a global emphasis on reparatory justice, with Africa playing a more active role. He also said at the conference Ms. Motley will be presented with the IBW Legacy Award for her historic role as the first Prime Minister, female Prime Minister of Barbados, that is. And continuing, 4 vehicles and a nearby shop were damaged when gunmen descended on Flat Rock, St. George last night. When CBC videographer Chris Wood visited the scene earlier today, owners of the vehicles and neighbors were busy assessing the damage. Owner of the shop, who gave his name as Luther, recounted the ordeal.
I got to leave the gallery, preventing the bed to lay down to watch a movie. And 5 minutes I hear pop, 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 and when they look out through the barrel window, I saw 2 men running going down the road. When they get down by Carnival House, and now they still shooting. I don't know who them is or where they shoot. You got a lot of electricians about here already running up and down in the gap. You never know what can happen with the electricians running about. You got to be careful.
Coming up, kite flying returns in a big way. The Easter Monday holiday today signaled the return of a once annual attraction and tradition for residents of St. Joseph and indeed the wider Barbados. The Paris Hill Kite Flyers have become well known for successfully hoisting some of the largest kites ever built in Barbados, as large as 35 feet in some years. This year, returning for the first time since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, the team successfully hoisted a 22.5-foot kite and a 15-foot kite. The bigger kite flew for a little less than a minute before coming back down, while the 15-foot kite flew for several minutes before becoming entangled with a smaller kite, prematurely ending its flight. One of the main veteran organizers of the event, Nilo Masco, says both kites took about 3 days to build and were completed only this morning, since he says a fresh kite is always considered best to fly when they're so large. He said the return of a bigger kite event this year with more variety received strong support, thanks in large part to additional sponsors who came on board.
We got a bit more sponsorship, which is always good, because I want to thank the sponsors first, because without sponsorship, we cannot do this event. We must get sponsorship. Because the way how things are, you got to pull your pocket for a lot of things. Some things we would have done that, but the sponsorship is very, very, very helpful. And I really throw my real heartfelt thanks to them.
St. Joseph MP Attorney General Dale Marshall was pleased to see the event's return, as it has been widely embraced.
The last 3 years, because of COVID, we have not been able to host this event. We were hoping to have done it last year, but obviously we simply could not take the risk at that time. So there's a spirit of renewal. I suppose, given that yesterday was Easter Sunday, that's probably a fortunate thing, but there's a keen spirit of renewal in this community to be able to come back to normalcy. This has been the highlight for this normally sleepy district, and it really showcases the talent and brings people to St. Joseph's, which is what we want.
One of the sponsors of the event, Ryan Brathwaite of Ticket Links, who is also a St. Joseph resident, says he was happy to come on board to support such a positive event in his hometown.
This Parasol Kite Flying event is a legacy event. It has really become a legacy event in St. Joseph. Obviously, over the last 2 years or so, we've not been able to have this event, but the community has been happy to welcome this event back. Of course, I'm as Josephine, and I'm happy to be a part of this event as a sponsor. And it's good to see businesses from the community getting involved in these events, because community spirit is very important, and you have a corporate responsibility to ensure that these events continue year over year.
Kite flying was also one of several attractions at the Easter Fiesta at Weymouth in the city. Kites of all shapes and sizes were spotted, including a man kite created by organizer Glendon Trim. He told us about the concept behind the man kite and also the event, which raised funds for the Cancer Society in honor of his late mother.
Honestly, it was on my mind about 6 to 7 months ago, and then I just tell myself, you know what, I'm going to try it, And that's how it came, because in our country, I'm from Guyana, every Easter we tend to have an Easter fiesta, where that people bring the most unusual kites, things that where you don't expect. Like, for instance, I have a man kite at the back there. I'm going to try to put it up later, so kids could see that anything is possible in life. You just have to believe, and you can achieve.
A local cleric is concerned about the extreme rage and lack of patience which is being openly exhibited on the roads of Barbados. Reverend Irma Ambrose at the St. Paul's Anglican Church says, given her observation of late, more women motorists appear to be guilty of this behavior. She made the comment while delivering her Easter Sunday message yesterday.
We can add road rage to it. We ain't got no patience for the road no more. And women getting involved in this too, Once upon a time, it was the men trying to tell the women, listen, get off the road, one can't drive. But now the girls gone, they're getting in it too. They're choosing and carrying on and cursing people. Nobody can wait.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Football's Barbados Cup has made a return after a 3-year hiatus, with 10 teams from Trinidad and Tobago joining several local junior teams for the 2023 competition, set to run through to April 14th. The opening ceremony was held last evening at the Parkinson Resource Center, with a parade of the teams who will compete under the under 13, 15, 17 and under 19 divisions. This year also sees a return of the girls section after a 10-year absence, with 4 teams being featured, including 2 from Trinidad and Tobago. The Pinelands Youth Academy team was adjudged Best Team on Parade. In her feature address, Deputy Prime Minister Santia Bradshaw, who in previous years was the manager of a number of winning teams in the tournament, says football can have a positive impact on the lives of young players beyond the field of play.
Been able over the years coming up in this community to see the difference that football has been able to make. I've seen young people turn their lives around because they want to play the sport, and therefore we have to continue to create these types of opportunities to engage our young people in positive activities and to also expand it now to the point where we have life skills and also personal development programs.
The Barbados Cup will be played at a number of venues across the island. The under-19s will be at the Police Sports Complex at Weymouth, the under-17s at Briar Hall, the under-15s at the Parkinson Resource Centre. The Barbados Community College is the venue for the under-13 games, and the girls' division is being played at the Dover Playing Field. Games will play every day from 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon. And finally, in cricket, Barbados pulled off an 8-wicket win over the Windward Islands today in their 4th-round match of the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars Under-15 Championship. Playing at the Viv Richards Stadium in Antigua, the young Bajans dismissed their opponents for 112 off 40.1 overs, thanks to a 4-wicket haul from Kobe Critchlow-Beyer and 3 for 18 from Javed Warrell. In their chase, Barbados reached a target on 113 for 2 off 20.2 overs. Gadsden Boynes led with an unbeaten 45. And Nicholas Pooran hit the fastest 50 of the 2023 Indian Premier League as Lucknow Super Giants beat Royal Challengers Bangalore by 1 wicket to move on top of the IPL table today. Bangalore had posted 212 for 2 with Virat Kohli, Faf du Plessis and Glenn Maxwell all hitting half-centuries. Pooran then hit 62 off 19 balls, reaching his half-century off just 15 balls. Lucknow clinched victory on the final ball, reaching 213 for 9.
This has been Newsnight. Good night.
Thanks for visiting us. Now, if you want to see more stories like this one, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can always go to cbc.bb for the latest news and current affairs.